Hi, Sarah here with a layout process video for you today. I'm starting off here with some watercolour paper in 12 by 12 so that I can just draw straight onto it and paint straight onto it. I don't need to prep it with any gesso. And I'm just sketching a rainbow roughly on the page here, lightly with a pencil. Just getting out some watercolours. These are just really cheap watercolours that I got from Hobbycraft. I think the brand is Art Loft, and I'm just roughly painting out a rainbow. Nothing too elaborate here. I am going to be layering things on top of it, so I just wanted the basic colours down. So I'm just adding each colour in turn, as you can see here. I'm using today ribbons by Crafty Ribbons, who I am design team for, and as well as that I am using my Thompson's Craft Supplies, I think it was a February kit. I'll leave links for Crafty Ribbons, which ribbons I used, and I'll also leave a link to the Thompson's Craft Supply mixed media kits below in the description box if you want to go and check them out. So I'm pretty much almost done with this rainbow now. I do end up mixing a couple of the colours together as it was a little bit too dark a purple, and then I do add pink. I don't go for indigo and violet, I go for just basic purple and pink because they match the colours that I use in my papers behind my photograph. And last one now, and then I just leave this to one side to dry. So now I'm moving on to my ribbon. I've done this technique before. All I do is lay down some adhesive. I didn't manage to get that on camera for some reason, it's not recorded that bit, but all there is a line of adhesive using an adhesive ATG gun roller, and I'm just ruffling some seam binding all along there and then just securing it on the back on both ends. And there, that's my glue that I just used, and I just follow the centre of each of the colours of the rainbow on there and just ruffle ribbon down each one, as you can see. And now I've skipped to the last one here, and I add colours that are a fairly good match, but because the seam binding is slightly transparent, it does mean that it does pick up the colour behind it, so it does make it match better than it looks like it would do, if that makes sense. Like this pink, for instance, is very pale, but on top of the darker pink it works really nicely. So as you can see on the back there, I just took all these edges in. I will be going over the top of these afterwards as well. So at this point I decide that I'd like to make it look bolder, so I'm going to do my usual and add it to a black background. So in order to do that, I'm just going to trim out my background piece here, and I'm just going to layer this rainbow on top of black cardstock instead of white. As you can see, it really pops off the page on white. I did like it on black, sorry, I did like it on white as well, but I've decided I'd rather do this. And here's the title piece that I wanted to use. I haven't decided what I want to use at this point, whether to use the whole title or not, so I've just trimmed out the world thing from that. I'm just trimming down my photo now, and I will add some paper layers behind that as well. I've decided now that I'm going to trim out every single word from this sticker sheet. It's basically one big sticker but with the backing still on it, so I've just trimmed out all of those, which will pop off the page really nicely on top of the black cardstock. I'm now going to add a double layer on the back of my photo. I'm going to add black and white today, just to give it an extra bit of definition so that it does stand out on top of the really bright layout that will be behind it. I'm going to use a little bit of this graffiti style paper as well, also in that Thompson's kit. I'm just going to use just a little bit behind my photo just to blend it in with the rainbow background. There's also a tag there, also from the kit, as well as this gorgeous acrylic piece and that flare, which are also in the kit. I don't think they have any more of these, but they do have some of the other kits. And those ones were by Bramble Fox, the flare and the acrylic piece. So I've added some washi on the back there, which helps to secure down the ribbon, but it also gives my gun, my tape gun, a nice smooth surface to roll over so it doesn't get caught. So now that's all secured down, I can add my cluster, my photograph and embellishment cluster around it. Just punched out the hole from the tag, and I'm going to use some of this cute pencil crayon ribbon on there as well, which works really well with my little flare badge, which says Live Life in Technicolor. I'm also decided I want to use a bit more of that, so I do add it around the bottom of the tag as well. And I just secure this with the tape as well. I want to create an edge to my rainbow, so I've decided to do some faux stitching with a white gel pen, which is, I think it's a Uniball Signo maybe. And now I'm happy with that, I'm going to secure down my main two pieces here. For this, because I'm going on top of ribbon, I'm going to use a gel medium, and it will just grab hold of some of the paper, some of the ribbon, and just hold it nice and secure. It works well with 3D embellishments and things that aren't just plain paper, to keep them in place. And for my Life acrylic piece, I use some Nouveau Crystal Glaze, which is a clear glue. Now I've stuck down my words, and I'm just going to finish off my layout using some white acrylic paint, which I'm just putting in some old packaging. I'm adding water to that until I've got it at a lighter watered down consistency, and I'm using this little fan brush. I just test it out on that black cardstock so I know that it's about the right consistency to add on, and I just splash it all over the black areas, and then I do go in and put it all around the whole layout except for the photo, which I have covered up just with some scrap pieces of card and the backs of the photos. So now I'm just popping down a couple of white enamel dots that also came in the kit, and I think that's me done. I think I'm just going to give you a bit of a close-up now. So thanks for joining me. Do check out the Crafty Ribbons shop. I'll be leaving a link below, as well as Thompson's Crafts Mixed Media Kit. And if you've not already, then please do like and subscribe. Have a great day, everyone. Here's some close-ups at the end. Bye!